Booming Thunder Radio, where we groove as the spirit moves. Yeah. Drawing the honey from the rock with the righteous Reverend Doctor on Boom Thunder Radio.
Shalom, mighty friends and fellow Hanukkite warriors of Silicon Valley, the treasured pearls of the deep, unseen within the hearts of the clams, ye that lay by the chests of the deep, ye the emerald ocean, the sailing of the ship, ye the anointed suns filling the sails of glory in each of our hearts, ye the winds of change blowing the spirit of truth upon your vessel, thrusting it forward across the raging sea. Yea, hallelujah, for all who have wanted more. Yea, such great wealth and such great poverty. How could it be this way? It is for the wanting for more that you would believe. The buffalo soldier, he bakes the bread. The 2 loaves of wheat. The grain offering brought forth in righteousness and truth and everlasting glory. Rock salt crusting the surface, and the other powdered grains of salt from the land and not from the sea upon the salt life of that bread. And as each one is handed out, and on their treasured moments, in their treasured times, in their treasured days, and never the Father's moments or commands, quite always the opposite of that. The bread is broken, and the cup is raised. And thanks to the existing one is given, our Father, who gives all. Again and again he is faithful. For all those that believe, yea, believe that the unseen world is real. Oh, you don't believe the unseen world is real? Are you that blind? What is in your hand? What do you walk? What is your purpose to walk the earth and carry the glory of God within, or the image of the beast in your right hand, seen in this earth. The AI there, that Tribadan? Well, we only hope all the earth has received their just reward at the Father's perfect time, in the Father's perfect mysterious way, and the will of the Father upon each and every one of us, moving us like potters upon the wheel, this turning, a spinning wheel has got to go round. Talking about your troubles is a crying sin. Ride the painted pony, let the spinning wheel spin. Yeah, let the clay and the mortar and the spinning of the roundness of the blade within the sheath carve the curves and the whiskers and the little friskies, and the catnip tails and the two horns that all can now see. Yeah, she comes tapping her foot with a jazz, but she ends up as Jezebel in the street. And the dogs, took her and then returned her as draught. Dung at the gate in the street. Oh, no matter, we'll just call the porter boys to come clean it up. Those enslaved by the inequity force within those that wield such inequity over minds and hearts. Even in this great nation, enslavement was, the Southern gentleman's way. Especially down, south, down in, near Baton Rouge, that old red stick wrapped up beside your head, the blood of Yehoshua, turning those two sticks into one as it's beaten upon your hard head. The thread, the white linen, red in the split window of your mind. The mountain and the river and the stream and the valley and the cresting of the eagles and the grazing of the ox and the green pasture by the still water. As he looks down from the hill, full of circumcision, hearts of his brothers, flaps well read, revered once again. Oh, if your will is in our hearts and minds, Father, let it be revealed by the words in our heart, that all those that gave so much to receive the mustard seed, everyone who jumped for joy and in fear and trembling yelled Geronimo with deep in their heart, hoping they could find you, everlasting one, in this moment and be a little boy once again, a child of light in the kingdom, and let old men become young babes, yea, living forever in the twinkling of an eye, the glorified body first coming upon them, and then within them the hope of glory within the children that they brought forth by the grace of Jacob in their hearts. Yea, the Benjamin, yea, the $10 Hamilton, the Alexander magnified, a Benjamin and a Franklin. This world of Mystery Babylon worships Mama and not the manna you have just received. But if you receive, then it is only right that you pay for your labor. Or you come willingly as we give willingly in your heart. And we will give forever within ours as it is given us the grace to do and give unto our brothers, yea, even our treasured life, that we can walk everlasting in the glory with the Son becoming old as the Father, to become the Son once again in the earth, and become the Father, and become the Son, and the Father, and the glory, and the rising, and the faithfulness of but one, that all the rest, they are the indentured ones, the slaves of those that have received the glory of God in their hearts and live in humility and peace, and not a whip in their hands, only the word in their heart. The Spirit of truth speaks, and the angels unseen and all of heavens and the earth move that the word they watch would be made true in each of our hearts. Yea, that the glory, the hope of glory would be in our children, and they would grow up in this world, having left Mystery Babylon and growing up in the truth and the knowledge of the glory, that they are God's chosen as you are, the remnant, yea, that alien in Egypt. Come out of her, my people, Yahushua in your heart, a Mashiach leading his family away from the darkness into the light. Faithful each day to wield the blade and slice the bread for the family. Yea, our brother Thea on his knees testifies that he spoke and prayed to the existing one, our Father, this morning, and for forgiveness of all that had done him and his family, yea, even the Father above in all the earth. He forgave them all, his faithful testimony. He holds the blade as you hold the blade in his hand, with the tip upon his heart. And he looks and says the Thea definition this day is to think. Yea, suppose what he is doing, thrusting the sword within his heart. To be of an opinion, a wanting of something more unseen in the truth and not the inequity force. To see yea, the seam of your trousers, to be accounted and reputed. Yea, it seems to us that we think, judge thus in questioning. It seems to be good and pleasing to us, so we have determined, yea, that your head be removed with the filling of the blade, mighty Thea. Let us go and swing the axe and the blade of the complete word study for G 1380. Yea, where wisdom opened her pages unto us this day. To think, imagine, consider, appear, expresses the subjective mental estimate. Do you understand? Or an opinion formed by man concerning a matter. With a reflexive pronoun expressed or implied, this word doka amara, G 1683, to think in myself, within, yeah, in oneself, meaning to some, yeah, to seem as the dress to oneself, the covering, to be of the opinion, to think, suppose, or to believe, even with faith the size of a mustard seed. Yea, as in Acts 26:9, I verily thought with myself that I ought to do many things. Yea, but most will say Hebrews 10:29. How much severer punishment do you think he will deserve who has trampled underfoot the Son of God, and has regarded as unclean the blood of the covenant by which he was sanctified, giving himself and his own blood, and has insulted the Spirit of grace. Yea, how much more for them all than for you, mighty friend. So when it comes time to cross over, you must, as Moshe, raise your baton rouge before the Father and with the hope of glory in your heart, read the redness of the sea. Each morning seeking the righteousness of the Son, the Spirit of truth that goes before us and parts the Red Sea, lifts us up above the muddy mire and takes us as angels across, yea, even the Jordan, and camping and encircling Jericho, blasting it at the appointed time, that not one stone would be upon the other, except at the redness of that white linen thread in the split window of your mind. H, the Hebrew 1380. Yea, Ezekiel, the mighty one, 27 and 9. The elders of Gebal, there it is, H 1380. And her wise men were with you, mighty one, repairing your sails. All the ships of the sea and their sailors were with you in order to deal in our Father's merchandise. So if we, in the Spirit within us, the Spirit of truth, the everlasting, shares with you and gives you a hope of glory in your heart, then share back with us as in our heart it is to have a great land and a great studio and a great training center for builders to come and learn the trade, that was taught us for 40 years, building this mystery Babylon. That the builders that graduate from this place, built with the love of each Hanukkite warrior of Silicon Valley's heart, unknown to the earth, only seen by the rising of the faithfulness and the wise master builders in each one's heart, the Spirit of truth. And as we go further and we look at the Brown Driver Briggs definition, Hebrew 1380 for Gebal, the BDB definition for Gebal is mountain. Like that place, that reveals a man's heart, the secret place to whom he worships and who he sups and dines with at the table. the one who reveals the truth in the living word in his heart. It's also a maritime town of Phoenicia, near Tyre. Do you understand? Today they call it Jabiel. It's known to the Greek mindset as Byplus. Yeah, it's like a chain of fools and a chain of heels, wondering and wandering, wanting the truth and the revelation, but never receiving it. Oh, let us each one pray and give thanks to the existing one to receive the revelation knowledge from the living word today. Yeah, and with your help, this building training center, this place of everlasting, where builders can learn the trade and others that make the tools that build can offer their support, and together we can train our young men to build in a way that is everlasting in the earth, as those that were before us built things that were everlasting. That the truth of the one true God would always manifest in the fourth watch each day. May it be revealed and mirrored and magnified at any time upon any heart that is a willing vessel in the kingdom of light in the earth. So our treasured pearl opened her pages at 1380, and we begin at Ezekiel 47. The West, could it be the best? Or is that a Jimmy Joe Jonga kinda drunken stupor, Oh, but what about the water? The living water, the washing of the word. Yeah, in the temple of old. What was it for? What was the water? In the temple? Or from the temple, the living water flowed? Oh, then he brought us back to the door of the house. And behold, water was flowing from under the threshold of the house toward the east. And the house faced east, and the water was flowing down from under the right side of the house, from south of the altar. Do you hear? He brought us out by the way of the north gate. Do you understand? and led us around on the outside of the outer gate by the way that faces east. And behold, water was trickling from the south side. Do you understand? Is that you splashing in the shallows, frolicking by Sally as she sells her seashore shells, devouring men's hearts? When the man went out toward the east with a line in his hand, do you understand? He measured 1,000 cubits, and he led us through the waters. Yeah, the water, the ankle water, splashing by Sally. Again he measured 1,000 and led us through the water to our knees now. Again he measured 1,000 and led us through the water reaching our loins. The roaring of the lions of the sea beneath us. Again, he measured 1,000, and it was a river, that we could not ford. The water had risen, to swim in. It was risen so much, mighty friend, a river that could not be forded. Like our dear friend, humble bondservant, giving his life for his brother. He said to us, Son of man, have you seen this? Then he brought us back to the bank of the river. Now, when we had returned, behold, on the bank of the river, there very many trees on one side and on the other. Do you understand? Then he said to us, These waters go out toward the eastern region and go down into the Arabah. Then they go toward the sea, being made to flow into the sea. And the waters of the sea become fresh. Do you understand? The refreshing of the Sabbath day, the wanting for the everlasting and nothing else on the Sabbath day. It will come about that every living creature which swarms in every place where the river goes, they will live. And there will be very many fish, for these waters go there and become fresh. So everything will live where the river goes. flows. Do you understand? Yea, the living word in their mouths and in their hearts, a wanting for forgiveness. Let them be forgiven and unforgiven by the will of the Father in the Father's heart. And it will come about that fishermen will stand beside it. Yea, it, cast their nets. And in Gedi and Englaim, there will be a place for the spreading of nets. Their fish will be according to their kinds, like the fish of the great sea, very many. But its swamps and marshes will not become fresh. They will be left for salt. Do you understand? By the river, on its bank, on one side and on the other, will grow all kinds of trees for food. Their leaves will not wither, and their fruit will not fail. Thank you, mighty Father, for the living word in our brother's heart. They will bear every month, because their water flows from the sanctuary, and their fruit will be for food, and their leaves for healing. Do you understand? Thus says Yahushua HaMashiach, our God in the earth. This, the boundaries by which you shall divide the land for an inheritance among the 12 tribes of Israel. Joseph, 2 portions. You shall divide it for an inheritance, each one equally with the other. For the existing one swore to give it to our forefathers. And this land shall fall to us as an inheritance. Hallelujah. This shall be the boundary of the land. Do you hear? Write and read and manifest it for the kingdom of the light and little children of their grandest fathers. On the north side, from the great sea, yea, the great ones see the way of Hethlon, to the entrance of Zedad. Ha! Math. Biromtha Sibraim, which is in between the border of Damascus and the border of Math, Hazia, Hadakan, which is by the border of, you ran? Yeah, you better run to the lexicon and study these names and places, praying to the Spirit that the numbers 13 and 21 would manifest in your heart. The boundary shall extend from the sea, Hazar Enan, the border of Damascus. And on the north, toward the north, is the border of Math. This is the north side. Do you understand? Mystery Babylon. The east side, from between you ran, Damascus, Gilead, and the land of Israel. The Jordan, from the border to the eastern sea you shall measure. This is the east side. The south side, toward the south, shall ye be this way, from Tamar, yea, we love you both, Tamar as far, with no fear in Tamar, except for the existing one, and the Mashiach living in his heart. Let it be in each of our hearts, as the waters of Marabath, Kadesh, to the brook of Egypt, and to the great sea. Let your eyes be open, brother. This is the south side toward the south. The west side, the great sea, from border, the southern border to a point opposite Lebo, Math. This is the west side. So you shall divide, this land among yourselves, according to the tribes, the spiritual sons of Israel in the earth. You shall divide it by lot, for an inheritance among you yourselves, and among the aliens who stay in your midst, who bring forth sons in your midst. And they shall be to you as the native born among the sons of the spiritual tribes of Israel. They shall be allotted an inheritance with you among the tribes of Israel. And in the tribe with which the alien stays, there you, spotless ones, shall give his inheritance, declares Yahushua HaMashiach. Ezekiel 48:1. Now these are the names of the tribes from the northern extremity, beside the way of Hethlon to Lebo, Math as Hazar Enan, the border of Damascus, toward the north side. Math, running from east to west. Dan, 1. Beside the border of Dan, from the east side to the west side, Asher, 1. Dan and Asher. Beside the border of Asher, from the east side to the west side, Naphtali, 1 portion. Beside the border of Naphtali, from the east side to the west, Manasseh, 1. Beside the border of Manasseh, one of the sons of Joseph. From the east side to the west side, Ephraim, 1. From the border of Ephraim, from the east side to the west side, Reuben, 1. Beside the border of Reuben, from the east side to the west side, Yehudah, 1. And beside the border of Yehudah, from the east side to the west side, shall be the allotment which you shall set apart. Do you understand? 25,000 in width, and in length like one of the portions, from the east side to the west side, and the sanctuary shall be in the middle of it. Do you see the twisting of the weaver's work in the earth? The mystery religion, the iniquity force that twists the living word and the fallen angels that work all the demons in the earth, their sons, ruling over them, for they cannot die, for they are eternal, as their sons, and the spirit of their sons is eternal, and cannot die until the rest comes. But they will have no rest. The allotment that you shall set apart for the existing Father, 25,000 in length and 10,000 in width. Do you understand? The holy allotment shall be for these, for the priests, toward the north, 25,000. Toward the west, 10,000 in width. Toward the east, 10,000 in width. And toward the south, 25,000 in length. Now, where have we ever seen that before? And the sanctuary of the existing Father shall be in its midst. Now, if you look at the Mississippi River, where the Mississippi Queen is, over there acting like she's the Cajun Queen. But she ain't nothing like no Cajun Queen. But she goes and hides in the Ozarks, hoping that the mouth of the mighty Mississippi, when it goes 50 miles wide and swallows all of Baton Rouge for the cleansing of the rod and the scabbarding of each blade along each side. Yea. Forget not the humbled bondservants, that work is to fill you, mighty one, with the living word, that you can be faithful in all that the Father gave you, that great treasure for the remnant, and be the living word, faithful each month in what you were given. That we can build this training center, and we can do it. We'll begin by the engineering, laying things out, how to set up the instrument, how to turn the angle, how to shoot the distance, how to drive the tack, how to pull tight the line, how to drop the bob, yea, how to line the form, how to vibrate the mud, yea, how to throw the salt into the street. Moreover, they shall not sell or exchange any of it, or alienate this choice of the land, for it is holy to the existing Father. The remainder, 5,000 cubits, yea, forgive me, Father, 5,000 units of your reckoning, and not a man's reckoning. The remainder, 5,000 in width, and 25,000 in length, shall be for common use, for the city, for dwellings, and for open spaces. And the city shall be in its midst. These ITs, measurements, the north side, 4,500, the south side, 4,500, the east side, 4,500, and the west side, 4,500. Yea, Revelation 21 and 16 for the faithful witness. The city shall have open spaces. On the north, 250. On the south, 250. On the east, 250. And on the west, 250. The remainder of the length alongside the holy allotment shall be 10,000 toward the east, and 10,000 toward the west. And it shall be alongside the holy allotment. Do you hear? Do you have it drawn? Or have you received another's drawing as the truth? And its produce shall be food for the workers, yea, for each of us of the city that work in the city. The workers of the city, out of all the tribes of Israel, they shall cultivate it. Cultivate, IT. The whole allotment, 25,000 by 25,000, you shall set apart the holy allotment, a square with the property of the city. Let your carnal mind conjure some black square on your forehead and leather strapped to your stiff neck. Let the Spirit, the one and only one, the host of heaven, be the only Spirit that you and your soul allow within your heart, that He can teach you the truth, and you would not learn from men, but from the Spirit of truth, yea, having seen it in men's hearts, and wanting it for yourself, and giving your faithfulness each month, yea, as penance in the world of Mystery Babylon, for all the evil you did there. And the 7 times repayment to the remnant that you stole, each one faithful each month, that he can receive the living word from our heart freely, and that this message can go out around the world. You can see how long we've been doing this and how YouTube and Google has, banned and shadowed and not let any of our items, teachings. So I encourage each of you to download our teachings and upload them in your name, that the message would go in all the earth, and that these demon-filled, blind brothers would receive the truth and turn away from the lies that they worship this God of Baal. So remember, the remainder is for the prince. On the one side, and on the other of the holy allotment, and of the property of the city in front of the 25,000. The 25, yea, to 25,000. Magnified, mirrored and magnified 1,000 times 25. On the allotment toward the east border and westward in front of the 25,000 toward the west border, alongside the portions for the prince. And the holy allotment and the sanctuary of the house shall be in the middle of IT. The AI, the image they are creating in Silicon Valley, we must slay. Hack as the 5 kings, Yehoshua, doing his work in the earth. The Spirit of truth to do for our children to never know this evil for 1,000 years. Exclusive of the property of the Levites, the Levites, those that hold back, like New Orleans holds back the Emerald Ocean, and the property of the city are in the middle of that which belongs to the prince. Between the border of Yehuda and the border of Benjamin shall be for the prince. Do you understand? As for the rest of the tribes, from the east side to the west side, Benjamin one, beside the border of Benjamin, from the east side to the west side, Simeon one, beside the border of Simeon, from the east side to the west side, Issachar one, beside the border of Issachar, from the east side to the west side, Zebulun one, beside the border of Zebulun, from the east side to the west side, Gad one, and beside the border of Gad, at the south side toward the south, the border shall be with Tamir, yea, shall be from Tamar to the waters of Merabath Kodesh, to the brook, to the great sea. Drink not the water of Egypt, mighty friend. The Red Sea make you great. Yea, not like a rabbi. Yea, but like a humbled I, a servant of the great, yea, mighty Jehovah. This is the land which we shall divide by lot to the tribes of Israel for an inheritance, and these are their portions, declares Yahushua HaMashiach, our Sabbath day King. But who is at the gates of the city? Yea, the indentured servants, the porters, yea, they are the gatekeepers, mighty friend. These are the exits, yea, the exits of the city. On the north side, 4,500 by measurement shall be the gates of the city, named for the tribes of Israel. 3 gates toward the north, the gate of Reuben, 1, the gate of Yehuda, 1, the gate of Levi, 1. On the east side, 4,500, shall be 3 gates, the gate of Joseph, 1, the gate of Benjamin, 1, the gate of Dan, 1. Yea, like East Texas, there we are. On the south side, 4,500 by measurement shall be 3 gates, the gate of Simeon, 1, the gate of Issachar, 1, The gate of Zebulun, 1. Yeah, all them hard heads sailing with magic in their hearts, numerology in their minds. On the west side, 4,500. 3 gates. The gate of Gad, 1. The gate of Asher, 1. The gate of Naphtali, 1. 18,000 round about. And the name of the city, from day, the existing one is there. The new, did you know, Jerusalem, that great city? Did you build her within your heart? Or did you build Mystery Babylon in Jerusalem, in Egypt, in your unrepented nature? Yes, you did. All the earth has done these things. And those that say they haven't are liars and thieves and come in some other way to heaven thinking that they have done nothing wrong since they can come in and out of heaven. Yea. And let us go to Hebrew Pie. Yea, HebrewPie.com, mighty friend. And let's look for 2 faithful witnesses. And let's look at the sea. Do you see the waves of the ocean? The 10, the undeniable number. Here it is. We shall have no other gods before the existing Father. Yea, the God of the Bible, and no other. Take the journey with his Son, that the Son can reveal the Father to you, spotless Lamb, existing, everlasting One, the hope of glory in each of our hearts, that we shall not make into anything a graven image to worship. For God is spirit and nothing else. We shall not take the name of Yahushua our God in vain. His true name is Yahushua. Yea, a shortened version for this day, perhaps Yahshua. But it's certainly not a Latin word, the name above all names, mighty friend. We must love that spirit, but know the truth, that those who knock upon the door, and it will not open for the peephole, this Latin word blocks them. For all they did in that name, in their blindness, never knowing the true Mashiach in their hearts. For you must remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy, that he will come upon you and sup with you and feel and refresh you and reveal heavens in the earth to you. All all that honor their father and their earthly mother. We shall not commit murder. Yeah, we should not kill in a way that is unrighteous. Let us eat meat sparingly and kill innocents only when we must to feed our family. But we must not do these things. We must understand the way of the wicked of Mystery Babylon and seek not but to remove that evil. For to love God is to hate evil. And to love is to live by these commandments. We shall not commit adultery with some other man or woman or animal or any abominable wickedness, faithful but to that one treasure given us. Yea, we shall not steal. Workers of iniquity do such things. We shall not bear false witness against our neighbor, even when they throw rocks at us. We shall forgive them with the hope that they would receive the truth in the Father's perfect time and moment, that the Mashiach could come and judge them and help magnify and transfigure them in this twinkling of an eye with a mustard seed in their heart. That we would not covet the things of our neighbor. That we would be of service to our neighbor if they call upon us, if we see they need our assistance. Yea, let the seam of your sail be full of the mighty gusting wind on the emerald sea. Yea, that we, the us, can touch upon two as one. Touch there on the number 2, mighty friend, and it will take us to Hebrew Pi 02. The two as one within each of us. That joining, that marriage, that betrothal in this moment for those who slice. The image of those 2 wheat loaves with salt of different types, that the blade would be drawn, and in the twinkling of an eye the bread would be sliced. Yea, that each slice could be taken and broken, and the cup raised. The sum of Hebrew Pi 2 is 221. So let us go and see what the old BDB, the old brown driver, has for us in the Hebrew mindset of 221. The BDB definition, Uri, which means in Hebrew, fiery. Yea, one can do nothing without the fire of God in the temple. Yea, the eagle soars and the blood is revealed in the fire of the lake. Yea, a prince of Yehuda, a son, yea, a Ben-Hur, who was used by God to prepare the tabernacle. An officer, yea, and the father of the officer, father to son of Solomon in Gilead. And the last BDB for the fiery one definition, a porter or gatekeeper in time of Ezra, who took a foreign, yea, an alien wife, a foreign woman as a wife. A porter, the gatekeeper. Yea, a man's mind in a horse's body. The complete word study. The name of the father of Bezalel. Exodus 35 and 30. Then Moshe said to the spiritual sons of Israel, see, Yehovah has called by name Bezalel, the son of Uri, there it is, H221, the son of of the tribe of Yehudah, yea, the king, the father of Geber in 1 Kings, Geber, the son of Uri, there it is, H221, in the land of Gilead, the country of Sihon, king of the Amorites, and of Og, king of Bashan. We see you in your waving of radios from 1939, and the only deputy who is in the land, the true deputy. And the gatekeeper, yea, from Ezra 10 and 24, of the singers there was Eliasib, and of the gatekeepers, Shalom, Telam, and Uri. So Shalom, H7967, a kingly name for sure, a chief of Ephraimite, a Levite, an uncle of Jeremiah's the prophet. An interesting sort that one is, I believe. But as we complete our word study for 221, and those that refuse to cross over, G221, those who have that Greek mindset in the pit of hell, in the earth, and in the world to come forever, an Alexandrian, one born or living in Alexandria, Ye witnessed in Acts 6 and 9. But some men from what was called the synagogue of the freed men, do you understand? Freed from the rabbinic chains on their temple doors. Both Syrians and Alexandrians, there it is, G221, and some of the Cilicia and Asia rose up and argued with Stephen. Oh, you like that? You want a double portion? How about Acts 18:24? Now, those that loved the existing Father more than their next breath, a Jew named Apollos. What? Do you understand? A Jew named Apollos, an Alexandrian, there it is, G221, an Alexandrian by birth, do you hear? We are all born into this world of mystery Babylon. But he was an eloquent man, came to Ephesus, and he was mighty in the scriptures. Hallelujah. Alexandria was frequented by those that loved the existing one, the Jews. And during this apostolic period, like it is even to this day, Egypt has a large Jewish population, million, then innumerable ones now. One who belongs to Alexandria, but not necessarily born or living there. Do you understand? And our brother Thea, he says those unrepented hearts are native or residents in Alexandria in Egypt. The Greek 221 definition for Alexandrius. And that, mighty friends, ends our journey for today. But wait, there is but just a little bit more of the slicing of the Hebrew pie. Are you ready? Here it is. Those who slice. Camel, my friend, you've come yet again. Our family has become one and three. Riding on high, wielding the weapon of war. Remember Jesus, Yeshua, who raised the basket for all once more. The seed of faith sown in the many that faithful day. Yea, that story that aligned what all the apostles had to say. The house was set by the waters that day. A fence was put up to keep evil away. Come now and unite, for we stand at the door. Our Father is with us. He surrounds those with weapons of war. Our Father surrounds those who slice with His word. O camel, now come along the way we should go. Let us raise the basket with faith once more, letting the container be filled with the humps on our friend. Yes, the harvest of the fruit is now ripened in the field. Behold, worship, cross over, and become an overcomer, dear friend. Behold, here is is the enclosure that holds the cup of wrath. It is the container, a weapon that will be poured out at long last. Yea, mighty friend, this cup of wrath, all those that presented an innocent, blind lambs for sacrifice each day. Yea, may their soul be sacrificed, mirrored and magnified in the way that they worked inequity, or the way that they repay 7 times for what they stole. Faithful each month, that their sacrifice would be an offering, and it could be accepted, and they could be leased in the kingdom of light, and not burn in the pit of hell evermore. Come on now. Let the existing Father of Truth feel. Yeah, break that symbol. Yeah, give more.